okay. I just wanted to make sure. Just calling attendance. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Those of you who know me know I'm touched by the moments. And just take a look around this room and think of the moments that we've shared this morning. Moments missing, as Rabbi Shulman referenced. This is the First Women's Connection Shabbat where Fanny Krasner-Leibovitz is not with us and where Joy Wasserman-Poland is not with us, both of whom so dedicated to this congregation and our dear sisters in spirit and heart. But, they are with us. So I just wanted to acknowledge. And the moments of going from celebration to poignancy, Rona, your comments were beyond description and so appreciated. For those of you also who have looked at the booklet that you have for a moment, I encourage you to read every word of it, but all 12 pages. But I wanted to share with you on page 3 about how we got to this place very briefly. And I'm going to read us what we wrote as we were contemplating how to select a woman of valor this year to honor. The world changed on October 7th. And given the horrific events in Israel on that day that was to be a celebration of Simchat Torah, we felt it necessary to also proceed with celebrating our precious community here, as well as devoting time and resources to support and honor those taking responsibility for each other. So it was obvious and wonderful and appropriate that we honor Dvora Celniker for her leadership role in Tikkun Olam, and also that we pay attention to and not forget what else is happening in the world and around us, which is also why even at the luncheon we had debates about how to do it. We wanted to provide a nice time for our community, but it might be a little less than you've experienced in previous years because we wanted to save some resources to donate to Israel relief funds. With that, I just want to move to very quickly, if you'll read with us on going to and ask Edna to come up, and Renee. Terry Miller, I know, is watching from Los Angeles, and we wish her also good health. She had moved up there. She couldn't join us this year, but she's here in every moment of what we're doing. If you look on page 8, there was an update to the Eshet Chayil. So we're going to read it together to get the words in our mouths as we introduce also Dvora. And we will alternate. Well, she can get started. And we can start. And notice that we kept the acrostic, but please read with us as we brought this to contemporary times. Okay. I have it here. Go ahead. Oh, I see. We'll say it with you together. Eshet Chayil mi yimtzak v'yarak mepnim mikra. Renee, you want to start?
Okay. A woman of valor who can find.
You can read with us. She beautifies life cycle events with decor and flowers, incorporating traditions old and new.
She celebrates each new month with friends and spiritual connections in amazement and gratitude.
She delivers clothing, toys, and blankets to families at holiday time and throughout the year.
She educates her household and others to participate in Tikkun Olam.
She feels the pain of hurting souls and rejoices with the jubilant ones.
She gives tzedakah as a way of honoring her sisters.
She helps create shelter for those in need.
She includes those new to the neighborhood.
She Jewishly lives her life as a role model whom all see and emulate.
She kindly prepares sustenance for the congregation on Shabbat and holidays.
She loves learning and is a lifelong learner.
She makes everyone feel like they belong and are a part of her family.
She never utters an unkind word.
She organizes art and handiwork for the benefit of others.
She provides support for those experiencing domestic distress.
She is quite comfortable as a homemaker, a career professional, a volunteer, and entrepreneur.
She recites the Misha Barach prayer or mourner's Kaddish for those in her family and in the community, including those who may not have someone reciting it for them.
She supports institutions of Jewish learning throughout the world.
She teaches those who wish to learn and those who must never forget.
She understands those who are misunderstood.
She voices her opinions as she advocates for justice.
She works on the front lines, serving her country and community in meaningful ways.
She exemplifies all that is good and positive in the world.
She yearns for a better tomorrow, even though today might seem to be filled with blessings.
She zestfully embraces the physical and spiritual well-being of her home and everyone else's.
רבות בנות עשו חיל, ואת עלית על כולנה.
A woman of valor who can find,
Just
just
look
look around. So with that, I also call up Sue Applebaum and Dvora Celniker. Yes? And if you don't know Dvora, by the way, well, everybody here knows her. However, look to page 4. Some of you will see yourself even pictured there. There are so many things about Dvora. I got her resume, and it was like, what was it, 30, 40 pages long? No, it was close. It was close. But there are some things, I want you to see these points of things. The only way I could write it was to say, we know what we know about her with Tikkun Olam, but there's so much we don't know. So we'll go more into that also at the luncheon, and she's written some things about herself in her own words. But first, Sue, we want to ask you to come up.
In passing the torch from last year's Eshet Chayil to this year's Eshet Chayil, maybe a yad would have been a better metaphor. I want to congratulate you, Dvora, for your years of service to Congregation Bethel. And moreover, in spearheading our Tikkun efforts, you have served not just Congregation Bethel, but the greater San Diego Jewish community and others as well. So kol hakavod to you for all you have done.
Okay, so we did this. We didn't wrap it with tape. We did it so we could just slide it off. You want to slide that off? And we'd like to present to you this piece of artwork. It says, Tikkun Olam, you are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. And that so much talks of you. And I also want to mention you are a very kind and generous person, and I'm really happy to know you too. So thank you very much for all you do.
I'm just going to say a few words, literally just a few. I feel blessed and am deeply grateful to Women's Connection for the honor of being recognized as the Woman of Valor this Shabbat. The work that I do with the Tikkun Committee fills my heart with joy and appreciation. I am inspired by Dvora, the judge and prophet and the central figure in this week's Haftorah, who I am named for. She is known for her wisdom, leadership, and courage, and I aspire to these same ideals while leading the Tikkun efforts here, as well as being a role model for the students in my classes. Thank you again for this meaningful recognition. I look forward to being an active member of the Bethel community for years to come.
Just like the bat mitzvah children. They finish the Haftorah and they want to run away. Dvora, your modesty and your kindness, your creative energy, and your caring for so many in the many and different places of your life are why we celebrate you as our Eshet Chayil. Just as Women's Connection seeks to perpetuate the values of our heritage, you are a devoted soul in our synagogue community, in your personal life, and you are devoted to the spiritual, the ethical, and the religious principles of Judaism. Your Eshet Chayil honor testifies to your own personal commitment to these very ideals, not only now, but for many years past, and I am confident future. Furthermore, we associate your caring, as everyone is saying, with the kindness that is tikkun, and that tribute is to your character and our very high esteem for you. And I want you to know that tikkun comes from a very important and sacred source. In the mid-16th century, the Maharal of Prague, Rabbi Judah Lowell ben Bitzalel, who was a teacher of mysticism, he proposed that the whole purpose of Torah is to teach us how to repair the world. And the Hebrew words he used for that are tikkun olam. But by the Maharal's definition, repairing the world wasn't social action or social justice, as important as those acts are. His vision of tikkun olam was kindness, ridding our hearts of evil. His vision of tikkun olam was striving to be kind and not behave badly toward one another. His vision of tikkun olam was common sense propriety and proper ritual practice. All of these and many more are the traits we associate with you, with Steve, and as the quality of your presence and participation with us. Tikkun olam is actually an action that resolves or fixes a specific problem for an individual, for a group of people, or we can aspire for the world. And that's why we appreciate the particular acts of tikkun that you help us achieve, because they are focused and they are specific. And it's also why we celebrate you for the individual acts of kindness, caring, and generosity of spirit, and your gracious presence that is here for us and among us. Mazal Tov, Eshet Chayil.
Thank you so much.
Now you get to go sit down, yes.